What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 22. Double G here. This is episode 2 in our series for the Elm Creek map. So in the last episode, we were able to get the wheat harvested in this field right here, field 45. The price wasn't great, so we've stored that wheat in the silo. It's not a lot. The yield wasn't great. I want to say it was 3,700 liters. We also baled the straw, and we've stored it over here just under the edge of the barn to keep it dry because its price was at its lowest as well. We were also able to pick up this subsoiler in the used market, and we'll use that to prep our fields. It will satisfy the plowing requirement. We got it for like $4,400. It was an amazing deal, and it's 4-meter working width, so that's pretty awesome. We started last episode with $100,000, and we ended it with $29,969. So we spent just over $70,000, but what we got was this. Oh, look, it's a deer. A little bit. Don't get hit. Okay, good. Sorry. So we bought this field. It's field 47. It has sorghum planted. The field info just says that it's growing, but by the color on the map, it looks as though it may be on the last growth cycle. Yeah, it's super dark. So maybe in the next in-game day, we'll be able to harvest that. We'll just have to see. I think for today, the plan is going to be to continue to work on getting the other 3 fields ready. And I think we're going to do a contract, because we've got to get some more money back in the bank. And I was looking at the contracts page, and there's a real gem in there. So we will, I think, let's get in a John Deere. All right. Very good. So what we want to do is we want to drop off the cultivator. And then we'll go pick up the subsoiler, and we'll start getting these fields ready. So we will be starting to use AI workers today. We really didn't do enough yesterday to need them, or in the last episode. Sorry, same in-game day, episode 2. I think my ultimate goal is to have it work out to where we're doing 1 episode for every in-game day. But we'll just have to see how that works out. Am I not close enough? There you go. So we'll take this over to the smallest field. But like I was saying, we really didn't do enough yesterday to need to use an AI worker, but we will be using them today. I have 4 fields now. By my own rule, I can now use 2 AI workers simultaneously, as I can use 1 worker for every 2 fields I own, and we have 4 fields now. That still may be a bit much. We'll have to adjust that as we go, maybe. We'll look at it. If it seems like it's a little out of hand, then we may have to set a new metric. So we'll just drop this in, lower it. We'll get to subsoiling. Oh yeah, we're pulling up rocks. They're small though. It's something we may have to deal with. We may get a rock picker. We could also roll the field after we plant if the rocks aren't too big, and that will push the rocks back under the dirt. So we can maybe get away with that. We'll take a look at it. I think it may ultimately, at least for this go round, boil down the cost. It's a nice working width. That might have been almost 2 passes with the plow we were gonna buy. Alright, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna set this on a worker, and just as in previous versions, you just hit the H button and the worker will take off with it. There's some new AI worker controls in 22 that weren't previously in 22 is the only farming simulator I've played. So I was reading up some on the previous versions, and they've got some new features for the AI workers. So for this, we'll let him keep going in that field, and we need to take a look at the contracts page because we need to make some money. So I had a look earlier, and there is a beast of a contract for baling. Pays almost $30,000, and we could use that kind of cash right now. But on top of that, it's a baling contract. I really like baling contracts and harvesting contracts because they typically have a bit of a leeway, maybe 10% of the crop that isn't required to satisfy the contract. So as you're turning in the crop, or in this case silage or whatever grain, you're able to continue to sell the rest of the field and keep that money. So the contract, it's huge. It's 15 acres. It'll likely take the bulk of this episode, but it's going to pay $30,000 and may very well pay another 20 or 25 in extra, in this case silage. So we could have a pretty big payday. We may even be able to offset a lot of, or the majority of the cost of the new field, and that would be great. The other reason why I really like this contract, and you know what, I'm going to go ahead and accept it and make sure it doesn't go away. We're going to actually borrow. We're going to borrow this equipment for $1,200 just because it's so much equipment. But that gets me to the reason why, the other reason I really like this contract. I want to do silage, and this contract uses the exact same equipment we were looking at in the last episode for silage, so it'd be a really good way to use that equipment and test it out and see if we really like it. So we've got a lot of work to do today. I think I'm going to use the AI workers here at the farm to continue to prep the field, and since I have access to another one, maybe I'll have the other AI worker helping me in the contract field. 15 acres is big. It's one of the biggest fields on the map. So the contract's in field 71. And it's here. Why is it not? Did something happen? Oh, I don't have grass turned on. So yeah, it's a huge grass field. And it's ready to harvest. So we'll let this guy keep going. We'll go over to the store and look at the equipment we have. Oh yeah, there you go. See, that's a heck of a deal for, what was it, $1,200? So we have a tractor, a mower, a self-propelled mower. We have a windrower. There's the Pottinger Unirap, or another Claas with Unirap. I'm not sure what that model is called, but that's the one that does the 150 round bales and wraps them. And then a bale stacker trailer, which is so nice because we don't even want to talk about my stacking abilities. So what I'm going to do is we're going to use another feature in the AI worker system, which will allow us to have the AI worker deliver a piece of equipment to a place for us. So I think I'll drive the mower over, and I'll have the worker hook up to the windrower and take it over. And it's super simple to do. So you just want to get the equipment prepared, have it attached to whatever, and then you'll go into the menu And this steering wheel button, we were talking about how the AI workers show up as steering wheels on the map. So you can see the active worker I have them doing field work. That's because they're plowing. They're in our field just up here. And you can tell that they're still working because they have the steering wheel. But we have the tractor at the store selected. Should be able to, yep. Nope, that's the mower. I should not have clicked off. There you go. That tractor that has the windrower attached. So you'll just click create job. Then we have some options. We can tell it to go to, which is what we're going to do in this case. Go to, just take the piece of equipment from where you're at to wherever. You have field work. I thought there was another option. I think the other options show up depending on what piece of equipment you're in. I think there's a go to and unload if you want to have them cart things for you, but we'll look at that more later. The one that I want them to do now is go to, and we're going to pick the location. We just want them to bring it over to this field. So I click the location, the direction I want them to face, and they should take off on their own. Oh. Yep, that was my fault. I think I have to create job, that tractor, target, pick the location, the direction, and then you have to make sure you hit the space bar or click on start job. Now they're going. AI worker A has stopped. Okay. Well, we had a couple of things happen there. This guy finished. And this guy stopped. Alright, let's take a look and see what's going on. May have thought he was blocked in. So, let's try this. Let's get him clear of everything. Now we'll jump out. And we'll do create a job, go to that location, start job. It says target is unreachable. That is not the case. Come on. Alright, let's try this one more time before I just get fed up and do it myself. Alright, work. That one, enter to create a job, go to. Let's do it maybe like that. And start job. Okay, now you see it says driving to target and it's moving. Alright, and then we'll check on the worker in the field. In our field. Oh, that was it. Blocked by a tree. Oh, definitely done. Okay. So we will try another feature of the system. Just get them away from this fence that could cause problems. So the subsoiler's already attached. So if I'm on that tractor with the AI worker, or that I want to have the AI worker, I'm going to create a job. And then I'm going to tell that worker to do field work. And the only field work he can do is subsoil because that's what's on the piece of equipment. And then I'll just pick this field, go that way, and start the job. So what he's going to do is drive to the field and then start the field work with the equipment that he has. Just like that. You would only have to intervene and prepare the right piece of equipment with the right implement. So we'll have this guy do this field, then from wherever we're at when he's done, send him to the other field, And that will be everything subsoiled while we're getting this contract done. Oh, and he made it there. Disconnect. Get him away from it. And just so I'm not overworking the system, I'll drive this back to the store. But what I'm going to do is I'll get the mower, we'll drive it down to the field, start mowing, and I'll use the AI worker system to basically have this guy cart all of the equipment to the field. So we're not having to stop. We'll have to stop to give it direction, but we won't have to stop to do it ourselves. It's not a very long trip from the store to this field anyway, so. Just around the corner, really. So we have the baler. Oh, there's not even that much equipment. What I'll do is I'll have this worker deliver the baler to the field, and then I think the way this is going to work out is I will mow until I get a good amount ahead. Then I may set the mowing off on the worker who's done bringing equipment, and then I'll start windrowing while the worker finishes cutting. And then once all the cutting's done, I can have them finish windrowing while I start to bale. It's going to be a big job. It's going to take a bit. Definitely going to have to utilize a couple time lapses to get it done, I think. So, same deal. That guy, create a job, go to, pick the location. See if we can get him to go there. Oh, yep, took off no problem that time because there wasn't a lot of equipment around. And I will get into the mower and get over to the field myself. See if we can race him. Oh, this thing gets up. It scoots. Man, if it cuts this fast, we're in business. 26 miles an hour. Let's see. Oh, he took a super wide turn. Whoa, where are you going? Driving crazy. Oh. Got more speed than I do. So we get down to the field, I'll start mowing. We'll actually probably have this worker go back to the farm and get the other John Deere, because we'll need 2 tractors here if we're windrowing and baling at the same time. Yep. All right. That's good. Oh, don't want to back into the road. All right, so we've got everything but the trailer here, which is good. Go back to our John Deere here. We only have 1 worker going. That's cool. And we will send this one to the store. Did I hit the wrong button? Create a job. Go to there. And start job. Target is unreachable. Man, I guess you really can't start them out in anything of a tight... Oh, it's probably a good thing because I still have cedar attached. Ha! That would have been something. Get to the store, still have the cedar. Okay. Go to store, start job. And he's got it. Oh, don't crash, don't crash. I think we'll make it. And now I can get to mowing. Nope, wrong. Parked close together. Alright. Yeah, massive field. Also, if you're doing any grass or silage contracts, you can get away with cutting some of the grass in the margins. And it's not fertilized, but it'll be that much more grass to bale to add to the leeway to make more money. Oh, it lifts up too. Do I have to lower it? Yeah. Yeah, we'll just take an extra few meters around the edge for our troubles. It does cut pretty quick, 15 miles an hour. That's nice. This is an absolute workhorse of a mower. You really don't want to cut too far into the margin because ultimately you get too far out and it just won't let you pick it up. Even the windrower won't pick it up to pull it in to the area which you're authorized to work. It's just that little bit extra. It may be an extra half bale when it's all over and done with. I don't know, on a field this size it may be a whole bale. But this thing is absolutely scooting. Well, we need it to as well because it's a very big field. Okay, so our worker made it to the shop. So once we finish this loop, I will probably pause for a second and have that worker bring the trailer, the bale loader trailer. Oh, I'm starting to think I may have bitten off more than I can chew for one episode, but we'll use some time lapses. We'll get through it. Maybe a slightly longer episode. I'm really trying to keep my episodes to between 30 and 45 minutes. Anything more than that and just takes too long to sit down and watch a single episode. So let's... Oh, we'll have to go over there and attach it. That's right. Okay. And I'm really glad that we have this trailer. I've had to use a flatbed, even with a bale fork. There would be some comedic value to that, for sure. I mean, heck, there may be comedic value to this. Alright. And get this over to the field. Go to. And See if we can get this in to there. Start the job. All right, not giving us a problem. One active worker. Yeah, that guy can go ahead and get this. Start a job, do field work. All right, got the workers working. Get back to cutting. Try and be as efficient as possible. Start getting sloppy and you'll create a few more laps around the field for yourself. Okay, so I think we'll do a time lapse here. I'm going to try and get about half of the field cut, and then we'll use a worker to either help us finish cutting while I windrow or vice versa. We'll just see what makes the most sense. So we will most likely see you once we have maybe everything windrowed. Let's cut and windrow in this time lapse, and then we'll check out that baler. Alright, so I've just headed back up here to get the bit which the worker missed. I did swap out tractors thinking, I thought the John Deere may have been struggling with the windrower, and they both got 9 miles an hour, so there you go, we got that cleaned up. The other thing I'm going to do is I'll do one loop around the outside of the other 3 sides, just to make sure we get everything picked up and to make it a little easier to pick it up. So we'll just start right here, and basically I'll drop down the margin of what it will allow me to, and it can pull all of this into a swath. And when you get around the edges, the things that we're able to pick up, going left and right, this helps pick up more of that. So it's all gonna count for more yield, more leeway, more money. I'm really hoping with all of this work that's going into it, we can come out with the 30,000 from the contract plus another 20 or 25,000 or so. That would be excellent. And that way we will have our new field that we just purchased, plus we will have the money to help us fund getting it planted. So this shouldn't take too long, and then we'll get back up to the top of the field. We can send our John Deere back to the farm, and we can hook up to the baler, because from this point on I'll bale everything and then I'll load everything. We'll probably do another time lapse. I know it's a lot of time lapse, but this was a big job, and otherwise it'd just get super boring. But we'll probably do another time lapse during the baling. Then we can start picking it up and carting it over to the biogas plant, and hopefully make lots and lots of money. So yeah, these little edges here would have just been a pain to try to pick up, on top of the fact that the system may have ruled it out as not in the field that we're supposed to be working in. But I think with doing this, plus the extra margin that we cut around the field, may mean an extra bale. I'm thinking a bale of silage of the size that we're going to have, maybe $3,000 or $4,000. We shall see. And hopefully we won't get too much of a bale stuck in the baler this time. Probably not going to let us pick that up. We can park that here. Oh, there comes the train. Super cool. So we're about halfway home on this contract. It's an absolute beast. Hopefully it'll make us a lot of money. But we will not know for sure until we finish. So we'll just see how well this baler's going to work. I have no concerns. Get it turned on, drop the pickup, see how much of this it lets us get. Then we're also going to turn on the automatic drop. Hopefully we don't drop too many bales that'll be in our way. That also helps by clearing out the end of the line. I do know with these type balers, even though automatic drop is on, when you get a full bale, you have to stop and maybe back up a little bit, or you will have some material on the ground that it won't pick up. So you got to listen for the beep, watch for the 100%, and then stop, and then typically back up a hair, and then keep going. And if you're lucky, you're not dropping a bale at the same time that's going to be in your way. So I have absolutely no way of calculating how many bales are going to come out of this field. Oh, see, right there, it shifted back. So you just gotta get in the rhythm of stopping and backing up a few feet when it has a new bale. Okay. Here's another problem. We're doing 125s. And I do know that that bale trailer will only pick up bales of the same size at once. I wish I had changed it to 150. Well, I guess we'll just have to deal with doing 125s. Otherwise, we will have trips where we won't be able to fill the trailer because we don't have bales at the same size. I really should have thought about that first. Oh well. It'll be alright. Maybe I'll do 20 or so bales this size. And then that's 4. And then we can switch it up, but I don't really think I want to keep track of all that. We'll just keep a nice consistent bale size so we don't have any issues. Alright. So we're going to have quite a few. We'll go ahead and start another time lapse. And we will see you when the baling is done. So that's everything baled up. Looks like we're going to have around 60% left stuck in the baler, but that's okay. And what I did do to try to resolve the bale size issue was I counted the bales and I used the stats page, and I think we have 20 or 21 125 centimeter bales as I went around the headland. And then I switched to 150 centimeter bales and tried to keep those out of the headland so that they would be easier to pick out when we were stacking them on the trailer. So maybe it should all work out, but we should have around 20 or 21 125 centimeter bales out there. And the only reason why that's critical is because, oh, that's the windrower. I need the bale stacker trailer. The only reason that that's critical is because this trailer will only allow you to stack bales of the same size in the same load. So I know if I go out and get 20, I've gotten all the small bales out of the way. So let's see if I can get lucky here. So I did do them just around the headland. So I know if I get to 20 or 21, I've gotten them all. But man, I love this trailer. So much easier. I mean, there's a used to have a bale fork around the farm, but for doing field work like this, I don't know that I would even consider it. Alright. That's 6. 7, 8, 9. Okay, this is half of our small bales here. Alright. I do know that that one to the left there is not a small bale. And there's some on the far side along the road that got dropped. But just trying to make the best of a situation where I forgot to do what I was supposed to do. So we're up to 13, 14, 15, and 16. Oop. Moving a little quick. But if we do try to pick up a bale that's the wrong size, it'll tell us. $17. This one is not one. I'm almost certain. No, that's a big one. See, it'll give only one bale size at a time warning. And I think the capacity on this trailer is 24 bales, but I wasn't quite sure, so I wanted to make sure I kept it to a number. 18, 19, 20. Makes me want to think this is a small one as well. Yep. Okay, so I had 21. The trailer capacity is 24. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and go drop these off. It's small bales, it's not a full trailer, so it's not really going to be representative of what we'll have in the other loads. Take a look. The contract shows 20% done with nothing having been delivered. So we'll get this delivered. Yep. Tree in the way. Actually, we can do this. This will be fun. Roll the stop sign. Nobody's coming. No cops around. No tickets. I might have knocked down that stop sign. Didn't see it. Don't know. Don't care. If you didn't see it, it didn't happen. Sell point's not too awfully far away, which is nice. but I will switch back to outside view because I have to land these just outside this container. Oh, there you go. And we'll unload. Alright. Load them up, boys. That put us at 41%. So even a partial load was 20% of the contract. That was awesome. Alright, so I think what I'll do is I will go back to the field and I will load up another full load of the 150s. I'll do that off. Oop, car. I'll do that off camera, and then we'll check back in when I get back with the next load so we can see how big a big load is. Alright, so here we are with the second load. It's the first full load. It's also the first load with 150 centimeter bales instead of 125. We're currently around 40% of the contract. I cannot drive. Alright, let's try that. There you go. We're at 41% of the contract. This load will put us at the contracts can it's 51% completed. Now we're at 74. I thought it said all the way completed. I was like, no way. Too bad I wasn't able to have an AI worker starting to pick these up and cart them, but alright, head back to the field and do it again. At some point though, we're going to have this contract completed where we'll actually start getting some income off these bales. I would say we maybe have taken half the bales. Maybe 2 more trips will get it done. So I'll go load it up again. We'll see you back at the sell point. Alright, so here we are with trip number 3. We're most of the way back to the sell point. So I took a quick count after I loaded this up, and then there looks to be 18 more bales in the field, which is amazing. Because the last load took us from 40 to 80%. So that meant the load was 40% worth. This load should be 40%. That means half of these bales we should get paid for. And then we have 18 more. So that is way more than I was thinking. Let's get this dumped and see what it's worth. Because I would think technically 12 of these bales is what we're going to get paid for. And finished. Oh wow. Oh wow. 19,000 for 12. Oh, 29,000 for 12 bales, and there's 18 left in the field. That would be another 45,000. Yes, we will definitely go get those picked up. If that's the case, this contract has been a massive windfall. That was 30,000 plus another 45. Plus, oh, come on. Too busy talking instead of driving. But if we stand to make 75,000 just off of the extra silage, and then on top of that, 30,000 for doing the contract, that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. We'll be able to buy equipment for the farm. Oh yeah, this is going to be good. Silage, we're definitely going to be doing silage. I mean, we clearly won't be doing silage on a field this size for quite some time, but I still think it's worth taking the time to do silage and investing in the equipment, because once you own all the equipment, and then because it's grass, you can harvest it more than once a year. So that's going to be a steady income stream for the farm. We might not even profit off of it on the first crop or two with how expensive all the equipment is. But I mean, look at how many bales are still left. So let's get these picked up, get them back to the sale point. I think that's going to probably be where we wrap up this episode. I did have a worker take our John Deere back to the farm, so it's already back. We'll just need to park that. And then the other worker completed plowing the fields a long time ago. I'm really hoping this episode, once I get it edited, isn't too massive, but I still think it's worth a large episode for such a large amount of income. And I got to use the equipment that I hope to be able to buy to do this in my own field. And I like it. The only small issue I found was the fact that this tractor, at least, would outpace the baler. So it got a little tricky sometimes trying to, offload a bale and back up when the baler was full. But minor things. I guess you wouldn't have that problem if you had a separate baler and wrapper, but then the job would be twice the doing. Alright, we're at 16, 17. Yep, it was 18 for sure. Alright, the borrowed equipment is here, but it'll be automatically returned when we complete the contract. And our tractor's back at our farm. So we'll get these turned in and complete the contract and see what our final number is. Oh yeah. Very profitable day. Oh, too much. Whoa, wait, oh. Wow, I'm surprised I didn't take that sign down. Got a little overzealous there trying to make a right hand turn and swing the camera back. See what the final numbers are. My guess based on the last load is that this will be worth 45,000. $36 and 10. Yep, 46. 47,000. Well, from here we can complete the contract. So there's the additional 30,000 for doing it minus the lease cost, so we're at 28. Okay. Wow. That was way more than I expected it to be. So we'll take and get this put up. All the fields are subsoiled. We're ready to lime and fertilize them, and we can seed them. Oh, actually, we have to do something about the rocks as well. That's easy enough. It's nothing but some work. Get this backed in. The other John Deere should be just between the two fields. Oh, hit the pit again. And pay more attention. Not do that. Not the ideal to be place to be storing things, but I do like the look of the barn right next to the house. Alright. And yep. Worker left it just where I told it to. So we started out this episode with 29,969. But because of a super lucrative contract, we're going to wind up ending this episode with 134,206. That was a lot of money. I've seen, profits off of the margins for crops, but nothing like that. I wonder if this is just like a really good sell time, or there's a really good price for silage right now. Not quite sure what the fluctuation looks like on that. Let's look real quick. Silage right now is going for 4.6. Well, where we took it, it was 472, and that's low. Wow. Yes, I'm definitely excited about getting into silage. We're gonna have a grass field or maybe two. Absolutely. All right. Well, I think that's gonna be it for this episode. Thank you everybody for watching, and until next time, take care.